Okay, let's wait 2 or 3 minutes, then we will start. So in the yesterday lecture, we discussed about your state transition diagram, right? State transition, where in TCP. So where in the TCP, how the state change in the connection establishment, then connection termination, and in between data transfer is going on, you know. And today we will discuss about congestion control and the timer, different types of timers which helps for the retransmission and flow control, right? And retransmission of segment, right? And this just only 1 hour lecture, that's it. And some solved problems we will discuss. Let's go back. Just for your yesterday lecture we discussed this one, right? Where in the starting both client and server in the closed state, then server coming to the listen state. When client want to send the data, this brown line is a client, right? So client will send the sync packet to the server, and it's changed the state from sync send. And when the server send the acknowledgement plus sync packet after receiving this one, change from listen state to sync received, right? Similarly, when this one sync plus acknowledgement received by the client and send the acknowledgement, it goes to established, and this sync received when it is sync send the acknowledgement is received when the acknowledgement is received, right? And send the nothing, there is no this one, then establishment happened, you know this part. Just again, you know, sync plus and this one at this place. So how we are changing our states from close to sync send, then establishment. Here close to listen, then listen to sync received, then establishment. In the last lecture we similarly connection termination. That's it. Now see TCP congestion. Then after that we discuss flow control and then retransmission. Sanjeev, you can see previous lecture, right? As a recorded lecture. Maybe you missed the class yesterday, right? So just for you, I maybe if you miss the class, so just for you, just state change during connection establishment, connection termination, and how the flow control in the TCP we did. So these small things we studied. Now, so in the TCP congestion control, what is the meaning of congestion control? See, the main thing is congestion control. Let's say this is your source, this is your destination, and in between network is there, right? So when we send the packet, at each router some buffer is there, mean store feature is there, right? Store and forward, router is like store and forward, right? So on each router or intermediate node, there is a chance that in the buffer you don't that much has space in the buffer, so that whatever the packet is coming on that buffer or router, this buffer don't have that capacity to store all the packets. So this buffer will discard the packet. So discard the packet, or it is a loss of data. Is a loss of data. So this loss of data we call congestion. So many packet is there, but I don't have a storage capacity, so I'm discarding this one. So this is called congestion. Like similarly on destination also, on intermediate nodes and destination, that is the meaning of congestion. So we have to control congestion at TCP level, means end-to-end, mean end-to-end congestion control. So TCP use the congestion window and congestion policy that avoid congestion. So two technique they are using to control the congestion. Congestion window means how much data I have to send at any time. Means the sender knows how much I have to send the data depend upon some algorithms, some techniques are there. We will discuss what is the technique of congestion window, how we will calculate the congestion window depend upon some algorithm, or you can say congestion policies. So this congestion window will be calculated depend upon the congestion. So mainly three policies are there which we apply in TCP connection to control the congestion, right? To control or avoid the congestion. And you know TCP, we concerned about end-to-end congestion control, because TCP is always exist at source and destination, not at intermediate node level. If intermediate nodes, let's say router is 3-layer device, you know, if this is a 3-layer device, then on router, if congestion happen, then TCP can't handle, because there is no TCP algorithms or techniques who can read TCP header and all these things, right? So this is 3-layer device. So what we have to do here ICMP protocol we use if there is congestion in the router. So this ICMP protocol will send to go to the back to the source and tell there is some congestion at this place, please stop sending more packet to the network. That's the meaning, right? On router. But from source to destination, at destination we have on the TCP. So in TCP, the congestion window is one of the factors that determine the number of bytes that can be sent out anytime, right? This is the meaning of congestion window. How we decide? We will see this. So mainly three policies are there: slow start phase, congestion avoidance phase, and congestion detection phase. These three phases are there, and on the depend upon these three phases, we calculate our congestion window, and that congestion window will tell how much data we have to send on the network or on the channel. That's the meaning. So in the slow start phase, what we are doing, start slowly, increment in exponential threshold to threshold. What is the meaning? In the one thing, in what form we are sending data in transport layer? Segment, you know that, segments, right? So exponentially increment means, let's say in the starting 1 MMS, 1 maximum segment size, then 2, then 4, then 8, then 16, then 32, right? Then 32 is visible. Okay, now fine. So like this, 64, then 128. So exponentially, but up to threshold, there is slow start threshold value. There is slow start threshold value. After calculating this one, we will go up to this one. Then after this, we come on the congestion avoidance phase. In the congestion avoidance phase, we increment by 1. Now let's say you are on the 64, threshold is 64, then 65 segment we can send, 66, 67, 68, 69, like this. Then if congestion detection phase, at any point, if congestion detection happen, then we have to apply some technique so that we can return back, depend upon that congestion is a mild congestion or strong congestion. Depend upon congestion is a mild after detection, mild congestion or strong, right? So these are the three phases. So how we avoid the congestion? Let's see one by one. First of all, see this congestion start, slow start. Okay, and before starting this one, the slow start threshold, how we will decide? Whatever our receiver window size, whatever our, see on the both side, at the sender and the your receiver, buffer is there, window size is there. So who is the minimum size? Whatever, let's say receiver side and sender window, whatever the minimum, that is your window size, right? That is your window size, right? Whatever the window size divided by 2 is always the slow start threshold, right? It is always the slow start threshold. And how we increment or the exponentially increase the number of segment means in one round that number of segment we can send. One round means one RTT. One round means one RTT. Round trip time. See, now in one RTT, we will send one segment first of all. Then second RTT, we will send 2 segments. Then third RTT, we will send 4 segments. Similarly, in fourth RTT, fourth round or round trip time, 8 segment, like this, up to threshold, up to threshold. So similarly here also, in the starting congestion window is 1 segment in one round. Now in the second round, congestion window is 2, so 2 segment we are sending, right? So in the third round, in the third RTT, we are sending 4 segment exponentially in the slow start phase, right? After reaching to threshold, let's say your threshold is 8. After that, if we come on the congestion avoidance for, or that congestion avoidance is 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, up to when? Up to where? Up to window size, up to window size. And in that meantime, in that whole process, in some way congestion we detected, then we have to do some technique so that we can revert back our congestion window size. Means we have to decrease our congestion window size depend upon what is the strength of the congestion. The congestion is a mild congestion or congestion is a strong congestion, right? So in the slow start algorithm, the size of the congestion window increases exponentially until it reaches threshold. That line is very important, right? So this congestion window is very important. How we are calculating? We are calculating depend upon window size, but there is some policy: slow start and congestion avoidance. These two phases are there, right? So in the starting 1, 2, 4, 8, this exponentially. When the threshold reach, then normal additive. Now we say additive increase, +1, +1, +1, like this. So you can see there is only 1 segment from center to, then in the round T or RTT 2 segments, then round 3 4 segment, right? In the next one you can say 8 segment, that much. Or let's say 1 segment is 2 kb. Let's say 1 segment is 2 kb. One maximum segment size is 2 kb. Now in 8 segment means 16 kb data we can send at that time. It means there is, on the router there is no congestion, the path is free, so that much data we can set, right? So how we detect this one, we will see. Now see the congestion avoidance phase. Congestion avoidance, how we do the additive increase. Additively increase, how? 1, then 2, 3, 4. So in one round, 1 MSS only. In the second round, only 2 segment. In the third round, 3 segment. On the fourth round, 4 segment. Or this is after congestion slow start phase, not directly, right? Not directly. After slow start phase, after threshold, additive increase will be there. Guys, say yes or no. Sanjeev. Okay, getting right. Ultimately what we are doing, because in the data link layer, similarly flow control techniques are there, right? Here also TCP flow control techniques are there, right? And we need to handle the congestion. So there is policy to handle the congestion. So these are the policies, and 2 or 3 questions came in the previous gate exams, so we can easily solve the question by understanding these concepts, and these are more than enough. So see, implementation react to congestion and implementation react to congestion, I think again, is one of the flowing. If the detection by timeout and if the detection by 3 acknowledgement. Okay, in the last lecture we discussed about timeout, just for Sanjeev, actually he missed that, and the 3 acknowledgement in the retransmission. What is the meaning in the retransmission? Let's go to that particular slide, then just for understanding. So see, timeout based retransmission. Then what I am saying, if we send this segment and that segment is lost, then how much time we have to send, and in that timeout, in that particular, let's say this is your 2 millisecond. In that, let's suppose it's not exact, but I am supposing that part. In that 2 millisecond, if there is no acknowledgement, then after that there is retransmission. There is retransmission, right? And second one, let's say this segment is reached successfully, but the second one is lost, right? And in TCP, you know, they are using both technique, your go and back, you know that part, and selective repeat. whatever the feature of these two techniques, selective repeat and go back, whatever the feature, these features are used by the TCP. So that's why we call hybrid go and back and selective. This is a hybrid of these two, right? So selective, what is the meaning of selective? Selective are giving the equal number of window size, right? And out of order we can accept the frames. Here out of order we can accept the segment in the data link layer, you know, the frames. And in the go and back, cumulative acknowledgement. Cumulative acknowledgement is a feature, right? What is the meaning? Means your cumulative acknowledgement, we are sending acknowledgement in order, in order. So these feature we are using in TCP. See, now this, let's say this segment is lost and the other one are there, we already accept out of bound. So let's say this is your window size in the starting 1001 and here 15 is there, then 2001, 2501 and 3001. So this is filled, this is filled, this is filled, but this is empty. So out of order we are accepting the segment, right? But your acknowledgement will be in order. So here this acknowledgement will be sent. So here again this acknowledgement is coming, this acknowledgement is coming, this acknowledgement coming. So if 3 duplicate acknowledgement comes, then only we do retransmission, or that retransmission we call early retransmission. Early retransmission. Or this early retransmission means why? What is the meaning of early? In that timeout, whatever the timeout is, let's say 2 milliseconds, in that particular time 3 acknowledgement came, right? In that particular timeout, if 3 acknowledgement, duplicate acknowledgement came, then only we are sending the segment. That's why we call early retransmission. If this acknowledgement, this duplicate acknowledgement doesn't came, then after timeout we are sending the segment again. We are doing the retransmission after that. So that retransmission is not an early retransmission. That retransmission is a normal retransmission. You know that part, right? We discussed. Just again, I repeated that part. Now here, if you see that part. So if detection is by timeout, a new slow start phase start. What is the meaning? I'm saying if timeout happen and there is no acknowledgement, then whatever the window size or whatever the congestion side, we will start the slow start phase again. Means we are decrementing our congestion window size. It means timeout happen. Why timeout happen? Means why there is no acknowledgement? Means there is strong congestion. There is strong congestion in the network, right? That's why acknowledgement is not coming, because packet is lost. Why packet is lost? Because that package, wherever we are storing, that buffer don't have much space to store that acknowledgement. So that's why that acknowledgement is discarded by the router. It means lost in between, right? Similarly, if detection is by 3 acknowledgement, duplicate acknowledgement, a new congestion avoidance phase start. This is a mild congestion. This is a mild congestion. New congestion avoidance phase start. See numerically how I'm saying all these things. So if timeout happen, so there is a strong congestion, right? It means your threshold, right? Your threshold size is congestion window, whatever the congestion window, divide by 2, and we will start slow start phase. Here this thing we are applying by numerical, you will get what I am doing here, right? If 3 acknowledgement I receive, it means in that particular timeout, this is your timeout, right? If 3 acknowledgement give, so this is a mild congestion. Here what I am doing, whatever your congestion window size, divide by 2 into means and congestion avoidance phase. Congestion avoidance phase means what? Increment by 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. That's it. And slow start means start from the 1. Start from 1 MSS, then 2, then 4, then 8. And we reduce our threshold value also. We reduce our threshold value also. That is a important point. With slow start phase, we are reducing our threshold value also, because there is some congestion. So somehow whatever that number of segment we are sending, we need to decrement, right? That's the meaning. Now see that part. See, from this diagram you will get everything. Now in the starting, whatever your window size, let's say 64 KB is your window size. Let's say 64 KB is your window size. So in the starting, your threshold value is 64 KB divided by 2, which is 32 KB. 32 KB. Right? 64 KB divided by, this is your threshold value in the starting. Now we start the slow start phase. So in the slow start phase, what we are doing? We are doing similar thing. Your 1, 2, 4, 8, that number of segments, 16, and your segment size is 2 KB, let's say 2 KB, then 16 segment into 2 KB, 32 KB. This way you have to see. So I said not 32 KB. So this one segment, 2 segment, 4 segment, 8 segment, 16 segment, and one segment is 2 KB, let's say. Right? 30. So after that, the threshold we reach, then we start the congestion avoidance phase. And whatever your congestion in the congestion avoidance, when we apply this algorithm, what is your starting value? Your threshold value is the starting value. I said now after slow start, we start the congestion avoidance. So it means 32 KB is the starting value in this one. Then 33, 34, 35, like this, right? And your threshold value is half window. This part is already. Window is still 64 divided by 2, 32. Now this is your normal process. How this one? Let's say timeout happen. If timeout happen, then we are reverting back to slow start. What we are doing after reverting back? We are doing threshold size divided by 1/2 divided by window, and your congestion window size is 1 MSS. Again, starting from 1, right? And if timeout happen at congestion avoidance also, this phase, the same way we are doing, going back to slow start phase, because timeout thing means strong congestion or severe congestion. Any word you can use, right? Here, if 3 duplicate acknowledgement came within that timeout phase, this is your timeout phase now, this 3 acknowledgement came, right? So this congestion is a mild congestion. What we are doing? We are applying this equation. It means whatever the threshold value, 1/2 divided by window, and congestion window is threshold, and applying this phase. So where the congestion window size now, we are incrementing from that. Let's say this is your 10, then 11, 12, 13, 14. So this is your input for the congestion avoidance, right? And for the slow start, always 1 MSS, but not for congestion avoidance. So whatever the value in the congestion window, so increment by 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. This way we are handling the congestion in the TCP connection. I say yes or no. I am telling in very simple language. Nothing is difficult. That is this type of congestion possibility is there, how we are handling. So in the programming, in the socket programming, if you see, these are some equation, right? If condition is there, in if condition, let's say if condition is there, here timeout. For calculating timeout, some equation is there. We will discuss later what is in next lecture. Timer thing, timeout happen. Then here some condition we will put. Okay, so similarly, the second one for 3 acknowledgement. Now see next one. So this is your congestion example. Now see, we are starting from 1. This is your 1, right? In the slow start, 0, then 2, then 4, then 6, then 8. No, not 6, because 4 to 8. right? Then 8 to 16 threshold, and this 16 is threshold. Let's say 16 is threshold, right? Then congestion avoidance will be there. 18, one segment, 19, or that is a KB part, or maybe, right? So single increment we are doing, one segment only we are doing. So 18, then 20 KB partner, 2 KB is the size, that's why. So then here, and this sender is expecting acknowledgement, but there is no acknowledgement. Let's say timeout happen. Let's say timeout happen at this place. Directly go to slow start phase, means 1 MSS again. Again 1 MSS start with. We started, and whatever you are at this time, what is the size of the congestion? 20. So 20 divided by 2. That become your threshold. Okay, we change our threshold. So 10 become threshold. Right? Now again start. Again this one. 4, 2, 4, 8, right? And go up to 10. Go up to 10, not 16. Go up to 10 because threshold size is 10. So we can't go from 8 to 16. This is wrong. 8 to 10, because up to threshold we can go, right? Now, then normal congestion avoidance phase. And at this point, there is 3 acknowledgement. At this point, 3 acknowledgement. What we have to do, whatever the size, if you see this one, this is 12, right? So 12 divided by 2, 6 is your threshold, your new congestion. 6 is your new congestion, right? Again from 6 start, 7, it means 8, it means 10, right? Like this. Guys, getting same condition I am applying on this, right? Any question on this? So whatever the last 2 yellow part again, sir. Okay. Now see, this part is done, your threshold part is done. Now we reach on congestion avoidance phase, right? Congestion avoidance phase. Here additive increase 10, 12, 14, and at this point we got 3 acknowledgement, means some acknowledgement is lost, and means some acknowledgement lost, there is no, so we are sending 3 duplicate. Some segment is lost, not acknowledgement, some segment is lost. So they, and other, let's say 12 is lost, but we got 14, 16, 18, let's say, right? So this receiver is sending again for 12, for 12, for 12. So this place we got 3 duplicate acknowledgement. So when we are getting 3 duplicate acknowledgement, what we have to do? We have to do convert this one. Your window size will be whatever at this place. You are at 12. 12 divided by 2, 6. 6 your congestion, your input for the congestion avoidance phase, right? Now 6, 7, 8, but here 2 KB, so 8, 10, 12, like this. See this example now. One more example, you will get everything. Let's say your window size, receiver window size is 64. So right, only 64 is given. So threshold, your threshold will be 64 divided by 2, 32. You got it. So your congestion window in the starting 2, 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, right? Then this threshold achieved. So this is your slow start. Then 33, 34, 35, 36, right? Let's suppose at this place, strong congestion. It means timeout. It means timeout. How we will detect strong congestion if timeout happen, right? Let's suppose timeout happen. So what is your new threshold value? What is your new threshold value? 36 divided by 2, which is 80, right? Now, and you need to apply slow start phase again. Right? Now see this part. One, again I'm starting. 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, and 18, not 32. 32 is not possible. That is very important. So this is your slow start. Right? Now see, again, normal congestion order is 19, 20, right? And let's suppose at this place, three duplicate acknowledgement. Right? Three duplicate acknowledgement. What we will do? Then again, your threshold. Your threshold is 20 divided by 2. Means your this one, congestion window size is 2. Congestion window size also is 10. Right? So, and your window size is 64. Your window size means your window size is in the starting 64. Right? So now 10, 11, 12, congestion avoidance phase, and second one in 3 acknowledgement and congestion avoidance phase. Right? This one is also 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, up to 64. Up to 64. Because there is no threshold for congestion avoidance. Threshold is always for slow start. Right? So whatever your total window size, up to 64. That congestion window can go up to window size. That makes sense, right? So up to 64 it will go. So let's say we reach out 64. Let's say we reach on 64, and that is your window size. Means your buffer size is 64 KB. Let's suppose segment anyway, whatever is in the form in the KB or segment. If one MSS is 1 KB, so 64 KB. Let's suppose. So if 64 KB is there, now what we have to do? Nothing. 64, 64, 64, 64. Yeah, in one round we can send 64 KB data. That's the meaning. Until unless there is no congestion. How we will detect the congestion? By two things: 3 acknowledgement and timeout thing. Everything is clear, right? Guys, Aditi, Bhavya, Harshita, Sanjeev, say yes or no. So you can solve the question easily now, right? Let's say, because in GATE 2020 one question came from this one. Yeah, here also 2 or 3 questions are there, but in GATE 2020 one question came only on this congestion control. So TCP timer. See, TCP use several timers, different timers, to ensure that excessive delay are not encountered during communication. Remember persistent timer. You remember time wait state is there in the state transition diagram, right? Persistent timer. You remember when we are sending window size 0 KB, right? And deadlock situation came. To handle the deadlock situation, persistent timer we use. Like similarly, keep live timer is there. Read transmission timer is there. So just basic definition of the timer. So your time wait timer is, this timer is used during connection termination. You know that part, right? Sanjeev, you can see in the state transition diagram. You understand what is the meaning of time wait. There is one state, time wait. When we need to close the TCP connection now, so both send the fin segment, means a finished packet. But both send, the server and client both send the finished segment. Client, after getting the acknowledgement or after sending the acknowledgement, client is waiting for some time. Maybe acknowledgement is lost. So we are giving some space. After that, we are closing the connection. So that is a time wait timer. Persistent timer is to deal with the 0 window size deadlock situation. Let's suppose at the receiver, your buffer is filled. Now receiver is telling to the sender, my buffer is filled, my window size is 0 KB right now. So this sender is stopped sending new data. Stop sending new data. Now sender is waiting for new packet who will tell now my buffer is free. Let's say your receiver send the packet with window size 1500 KB, whatever. So in between that packet is lost. Sender is still waiting. So that waiting came. So receiver is thinking I already sent the packet. Sender is thinking I didn't get any packet. So that situation is deadlock situation, right? So this situation we are handling with a persistent timer. There is some persistent timer when the sender get the 0 KB window size. When sender get the 0 KB window size, client start the persistent timer. So after timeout, client will send the probe segment. What is happening? Right? So when receiver get the probe segment, again receiver will send the buffer size to the sender. Right? This is that way. You can see in the previous slide. No need. Everything is there. Third one, keep alive timer. Your keep alive timer is used to prevent a long idle connection between two TCP. If the client open a TCP connection to the server, transfer some data, but become silent, the client will crash. It is mean your server become silent. They are not getting the data from the sender, or in vice versa also, right? So there is some timeout. If there is no connection is open, but there is no use. Let's say connection is open, there is no use. Up to 2 hours, there is no data transfer between client and server. So after 2 hours, it sends the probe segment. If there is no response after 10 probes, then client is down, terminate. So server will terminate the connection. Maybe some port failure, maybe something else, right? Something happened to the client. This client is not giving response, or vice versa, because this TCP is a bidirectional communication. Right now I am saying one is client, another is server, but fine, from server to client communication also possible, right? This way, that is called keep live timer. The last one is retransmission timeout. This retransmission timeout means what? Let's say to retransmit lost segment, TCP use retransmission. I said nah, your segment when your acknowledgement is lost. So if client does not receive this acknowledgement after timeout, we need to send the segment again. So this is called a retransmission timeout. This is a retransmission timeout. Fine. So when TCP sends the segment, the timer start and stop when the acknowledgement is received. That is a normal case. When TCP sends the segment and timer start at this place, let's say it send the data. Start the timer. Timer is going on, and here timeout is end. In that time, if acknowledgement came, we stop the timer, again start for new segment, right? But if acknowledgement doesn't came after timeout, again send the in retransmission of the segment. Simple, right? It's a common sense. So if the timer expired, timeout occurred, the segment is transmitted. The main thing is here, this line. It is a dynamically change the value because of change in the timing. So this timeout value is not fixed in the TCP. In data link layer, your timeout value is fixed, but in TCP is not fixed. Dynamically, this timeout values change depend upon the traffic. So there are 3 or 4 algorithms to calculate that timer, this retransmission timer. So in the next lecture, we will discuss this thing, this algorithm, right? What are the algorithms to detect what are the dynamically change timeout value, right? So some algorithms are there. We will discuss this algorithm in the next lecture. Guys, say yes or no on this. Any question? Any question? Okay, there's no question. Fine. I think theory part is done. Now we will see solve problems. This is your GATE 2020 question, right? Now read question carefully. This is about congestion control. This is about congestion control. Read question carefully, apply the slow start phase and second one, whatever, your congestion avoidance, and tell me the size of the congestion window at time t plus 60 millisecond after all acknowledgements are processed, right? What will be the congestion window size, right? You need to tell that part. And your one round time is 6 milliseconds, 6 nanoseconds, sorry. 6 nano means RTT. Your RTT is 6 nanosecond is given, and your advertised window is 60 kb, 50 kb is there. Means your window size is 50 kb is given, and your threshold is 32. So 32 is given. If this 32 is not given, now what we will do? 52 by 2, 25. Right? Normally we do like this, but here threshold is given, so they can change. That's a question. Whatever they can want to do, and the maximum segment size is 2 kb. Right, guys, you have 5 minutes. Try this one. And this is 2 marks question. Sir, question is not visible to me. Okay, guys, everyone is facing same problem. Bhavya, Harshita, Sanjeev, you guys also facing same problem? No. So Aditi, maybe at your end some problem is there. Try again. Try to reconnect. See, internet is a basic thing. Better use Wi-Fi, and that is FiberNet, which is 5G. I think this is best. So up to GATE exam, you need to use this Wi-Fi. So don't compromise on internet thing. This is very important, because in future you need to give so many test series, multiple things you need to do, practice and all these things, right? So don't compromise with that. Bhavya, okay, Aditi. Fine. We solved one question, na? Example, just same with same example you need to apply. Whatever the question I solved, the same thing you need to apply. Like this. Bhavya, right, 44 kb. Aditi, right, 44 kb. Second question, after the threshold, it goes gone doing AI till what? Yes, I said na, up to your advertised window, 50 kb. Up to 50. In the example we show na 464, 64, 64, 64. Because in the example 64 kb or segment, whatever the given, 64 kb is the window size. So then after reach to 50, 50, 50, 50, 50 until there is no congestion detection. Until if there is congestion detection happen, then we decrement our congestion window, depend upon what congestion happens, strong congestion or mild congestion, right? Right. So this is your threshold, right? Now start on next. Yep, this one is right. Now what we need to do? 17, right? Which is 17 into 2, 34, right? Then 36, which is 18. 18 means 36 kV, right? Then 42, then 38 kV, because 19 into 2 I said. Then 48, your 40, 54, which is 42 kb. So T plus 60, what you need to do? You have 44 kb. Means 22 maximum segment are there, na? 22 into 2, 44 kb. How many segment? 22 segment. Like this one, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Right? Clear? So this is your gate 2020. If someone is know about slow start, and you need to remember all these things in very simple way, right? Don't create complexity here and there. Simple network is there, congestion is there, you need to handle. That's it. So I know some student बेवजह बोलते हैं ना फालतू की complexity or make them this question complex. Don't make this one, right? Simple knowledge you need to apply, whatever the basics need to apply everywhere, means in each subject actually. Now guys, try this question. GATE 2018 question. Read carefully each line, tell me which line is about slow start phase. Right. Sanjeev is right. Yes, so a congestion window explores it approximately double every round trip time, right? Because this is a slow start phase, exponentially increases 1, 2, 4, 8, 16, 32, like this. And the main thing is here also they are saying double on every successful acknowledgement. Don't. There is no successful, because your acknowledgement is always cumulative, right? Always. So at each round trip time we are doing this one, right? Now try this one. Harshita Bhavyaditya, you can tell easily by reading this answer question. Just tell me which answer. just give full attention on question. So don't be in hurry. Read question carefully and give the answer. That's it. Alertness is very important in the exam. Very important. Otherwise, you will do any silly mistake. Right. Answer is D. So consider a TCP client and TCP server running on two different machines. Right? This is your client. This is your machine. After completing data transfer, the TCP client call close. So in the close system call, if we call the system call, so what we are doing in this, we are sending FIN segment. Sending FIN segment. Right? You know that part. FIN segment is sent to the TCP server, and server side respond via the acknowledgement. When client send the FIN segment, it convert here state changes FIN wait 1, right? FIN wait 1, right? After now the server received the FIN segment, send the acknowledgement. After receiving the acknowledgement, client change the state FIN wait 2, right? So this is your answer. And here when it sent the acknowledgement, this is close wait state, right? See, and one more thing I said, in the socket programming we use open the file descriptor, close the file descriptor, right? All these things. So this close is a system call we call in the programming close function, right? Close means terminate the connection. Inside this close system call, what we are doing, we are sending the FIN packet to the server inside this one, right? This is just a function, normal function, system call function. In the system programming or socket programming is the same thing. We also call socket programming as a system programming, or you can say network programming. So network programming, system programming, and your socket programming. So socket programming is the exact word. System programming relate to operating system, because in the operating system so many system calls are required because user space and kernel space is there. And network programming is also socket programming. Right, now see this one. I think everyone is done with that. Again, one more question about states, right? There are 4 statements are there: S1, S2, S3, and S4. You need to tell which are right or wrong. 3-way handshake, you know about that, right? So loss of sync and acknowledgement means this one. Loss of sync and acknowledgement from the server will not establish the connection, first line. Loss of acknowledgement from the client cannot establish, second line. The server move, listen to sync received to sync sent, and then established, that is also line. The last one, server move, listen to sync received to established. So who know about the state thing, they can tell easily, right? Try this question. Which answer is right? Aditi, Bhavya. Yes, Aditi, Bhavya, answer is B. Yes, because this is a proper sequence. Server in the listen mode, after receiving this and sending acknowledgement, it changed to received mode, received, then after getting the acknowledgement, changed to established, right? You know that part. This line is straightforward. This is wrong. And about this 2 line, I said loss of sync and acknowledgement from the server will not establish, right? There is open a connection from that part, but if there is no sync segment, means there is no synchronization of sequence number from the server side, right? So there will be no connection establishment. But if there is loss of acknowledgement, yes, that will work. But in what case? When acknowledgement is not there, but they send directly the data. Client sent directly the data. If clients directly sending the data, it means connection is established. It means both client and server already synchronization of sequence number happened, right? So we can avoid that acknowledgement also. It's fine if data transfer is going on right after this. So that's why S1 and S4 is the right answer. But in the perfect way, acknowledgement should reach to the server, right? But if not, fine. Client can start data transfer. If data transfer is going on, it means synchronization happen. The main thing about connection establishment, what? The synchronization of sequence number. That's it. I think I'm done, guys. This one, and maybe you know or don't know about that thing. Maybe if you go official site of GATE 2020 IITB, they said na 15 marks aptitude, 13 marks your math. This time, this I maybe I am not sure, but this time is the first time they mention engineer mathematics, whatever the syllabus is a new, and they said 13 marks, means exact 30 marks they mention in the this one. Just wait, I'm sure I will show you. Guys, it is visible. Aditi, Bhavya, Sanjeev, it is visible. Screen is visible. Yes. Now see this one. If someone is don't know, distribution of mask or in all paper except, so they are avoiding this some ARCI. So the core of the computer science is CS, right? So if you see that part, 15 marks, right? 15 marks for general aptitude, engineering, mathematics, 13 marks, right? Only 13. So remaining 72 marks come from the sectional part. And if you see the syllabus part, if you see the syllabus of CS, just if you see, the whole discrete mathematics and probability came in the engineering mathematics. Normally in 2015-16, in this whole whatever the whole syllabus, the marks is 20, now reduced to 16 or 13 only. Normally 16 to 18 to 20, right? This time only 13 marks, right? So it means if you there are 9 sections, right? Section 2 to section 10, 9 sections are there. Section 2 to section 10 means 10 minus 2 plus 1. 9 sections are there. So if you divide 72 divided by 9 equally, if you divide, let's suppose, so 8 marks per subject. But there is chance that your compiler design will be only 6 marks. There is chance 8 marks also possible, don't know, but 6 marks. So each subject is very important. You can't skip. 8 marks is more than enough. And syllabus is very easy, just you need to revise and practice. That's it, right? It doesn't mean you don't need to do engineering mathematics, but I am saying you need to give proper, right? So don't give only much time to one subject. You need to give much equal time or balanced time to each subject. That is the main my thing, right? And guys, that's it from my end. Guys, thank you. You can leave. I think question is there. You can ask, or in the chat we can discuss. Okay, let's wait 2 or 3 minutes, then we will start. So in the yesterday lecture, we discussed about your state transition diagram, right? State transition, where in TCP. So where in the TCP, how the state change in the connection establishment, then connection termination, and in between data transfer is going on, you know. And today we will discuss about congestion control and the timer, different types of timers which helps for the retransmission and flow control, right? And retransmission of segment, right? And this just only 1 hour lecture, that's it. And some solved problems we will discuss. Let's go back.